Are all vegetables low carb? And can we have all the vegetables we want without having to worry about blood sugar levels? No, we can't. I'm going to go over vegetables that all my diabetics, pre-diabetics, those with insulin resistance and PCOS, really need to cut out of their diet. And you want to know the list? Of course you do, but first I need to tell you how I came up with the list. Now, research after research shows that a low carb, low glycemic, higher fat diet, especially those in omega-3s, can help with weight loss and help control diabetes, pre-diabetes, PCOS, insulin resistance, and other conditions. Now, I'm Shelly, I work as a dietitian in my clinic. Depending on our goals, our carb count ranges between 35 and 75. I personally like to stay under the 50 grams, and to learn more about me, click on this video over here. I do firmly believe most of us know the basics about carbs and avoid high carb foods, but with vegetables we get a little shy because we've been taught all our life that everything in moderation. So I looked at two factors when thinking about vegetables to avoid. The first one is the carb count. So that's pretty typical. And the second one is our glycemic index count. Now, the glycemic index, we talked about it time and time again. In fact, I did a video on PCOS and glycemic index. I'll have the link below, so don't worry. When we eat a food that's high in the glycemic index, it spikes our blood sugar levels. And the glycemic index is a scale of 0 to 100. I personally like to keep it really low. I like to keep it 40. The low glycemic diet we talked about in that PCOS video, I'll pop it up again, can help not only with diabetes and pre-diabetes, but it's so important for folks to follow in PCOS. So here's our list of our foods that are both high carb, high glycemic index to cut out of your life. Number one is beets. Now, a cup of beets has about 16 grams of carbs, which is about the amount of a slice of bread. It has a glycemic index score of 61, so pretty high, because folks will be like, oh, it's just like a slice of bread, and then I'm like, glycemic is 61. Probably the most common way folks get beets in is through smoothies and vegetable chips. I'm personally not a big fan of smoothies. I don't like to drink my calories. I'd rather eat them. But for the chips, there's a great brand called Rhythm Foods. They have a cauliflower chip that is a really good replacer. Number two is parsnips, and I am crazy guilty of making parsnip fries in the air fryer. I even posted on my Instagram because I'm dumb until I realized the glycemic index of that is 52. Now, a cup of parsnips has more carbs than our beets, coming in at 24, but we do miss kind of like a fry. And I did two videos. I did one on radishes and I did one on turnips. You're gonna wanna watch them because we do miss a crisp. I love a French fry. Watch those videos. The next one is green peas, and this doesn't really hurt people's feelings. I don't have folks running into me and being like, oh, Shelly cut my green peas out. We don't get that too much, but it's important to know they have a glycemic index of 51. A cup of peas is at 21 grams of carbs, and I typically see peas and comfort foods like soups and casseroles. Exchange them out with your green bean. Corn hurts people. I don't know why. I don't have this crazy obsession with corn that so many folks have, but a cup of it is 41 grams of carbs. I did an entire video about corn and high fructose corn syrup. You want to gonna click on it to watch it because it talks about how it spikes our blood sugar levels. The next one is our sweet potato. Now, sweet potatoes are crazy popular on paleo, but I do have to tell folks, hey, this is still a high carb food and it's a high glycemic index food. It comes in at 70 on the glycemic scale, 27 grams per cup. It can really wreak havoc on our blood sugar levels. And a lot of folks talk about the switcheroo over from sweet potato to cauliflower. It doesn't really work for me that well. So it's just kind of one of those things that's like, let's get rid of it. And then in line with the sweet potato is our regular potato. It's actually higher on the glycemic scale. It comes in at over 80, depending on how you prepare the potato. And in carbs, it's at 37, which is kind of like your 2 slices of your bread. Now, many recipes encourage replacing, your potato with your cauliflower, but also radish. I personally haven't done radish soup, like, potato soup. Let me know if you've done it in the comments. Share the recipe, and I want you to continue by watching my favorite rice substitutes. And for more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks, friends.